Which country shares the longest land border with the US? Which country borders the US to the south? Which US state borders only one other country? Which US state shares a border with both Canada and the Great Lakes? Which country is west of Alaska across the Bering Strait? How many US states share a border with Mexico? How many US states share a border with Canada? Which US state borders both Canada and the Atlantic Ocean? Which US state borders both Canada and the Pacific Ocean? The US shares a maritime border with which Caribbean country? Which US state borders only Mexico and no other US state? Which US state borders Canada but not the Atlantic Ocean? Which Great Lakes border both the US and Canada? Which US state borders Mexico and the Pacific Ocean? Which US states share a border with Canada in the northeast? Which US state borders Canada and has a famous waterfall? Alaska shares a border with which country? Texas shares a border with which country? Which US state is closest to Russia? Which US state borders both Canada and the Atlantic Ocean?